and gentlemen, I would invite you to keep a tab on this on an ongoing basis when you are looking at the channel, because that's where news breaks first. The Supreme Court has junked, in fact, the Bhushan Steel argument, and it's upheld JSW's acquisition of Bhushan Power. It has junked the previous order, rather, or reversing JSW acquisition of Bhushan Power. Of course, what occurred was that there was an order that reversed that acquisition, and this is a pretty significant acquisition that took place several years back. But let me not try and give you the context. In fact, to do that, let me bring in our editor of Banking and Economy. We've got Vishwanath Nair joining in to tell you about what this deal was, what the arguments on both sides were. Vishy, tell us.
Right, Alex. So there was this order that was passed in May of 2025 this year, where there was an observation made that the acquisition of Bhushan Power and Steel was way too delayed, and therefore there were certain process inaccuracies that were pointed out in that order. And the Supreme Court at that point in time had held that the acquisition was to be held null and void. Essentially, Bhushan Power and Steel would then be liquidated under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. That was the original order as of May 2025. Of course, since then, there's been a lot of debate about whether the Supreme Court can come in and reverse a transaction which is 6 years old. Remember that the original acquisition actually happened in 2019, 2020. So there was no way that the Supreme Court could have actually reversed that entire transaction, because the acquisition was completed and the operations were ongoing. So today, of course, the bench led by the Chief Justice of India has pointed out that the COC's wisdom in this matter, the Committee of Creditors' wisdom in this matter cannot be interfered with. The delays in the process were not because of the COC's fault or JSW Steel's fault. It was actually a process issue in terms of the timelines that it takes to get certain approvals in order. So to reject this entire acquisition or to reverse this entire transaction would be not possible. And that's what exactly the Supreme Court has held, that this transaction can continue as is. That's a big relief for JSW Steel, which was, of course, under pressure since May, considering the future of this transaction. Remember, for JSW Steel, this is a sizable asset, Bhushan Power and Steel, that they had acquired under insolvency, and that's why this order will come as a major relief for them.